this very special occasion. Many scouts set out on the trail to Eagle, but few have the perseverance to follow it to the end. Today we honor Aislinn Williams for her rank as Eagle Scout. Presentation of the Eagle rank is an honored celebration. For the Eagle Scout before us today, the award is a climax of her scouting efforts over many years. Let me point out that the attainment of this award is made possible through the assistance of many of those with us today. Scoutmasters, troop leaders, fellow scouts, parents, family, friends, and many members of our community. This is an occasion for pride and joy as well as a time for reflection. The Eagle is the highest rank that Scouting offers. It is earned through the Scout Advancement Program. Aislinn has distinguished herself through their continued active service in Scouting. She is trained and practiced in leadership abilities and marked by her character and actions as an example of those who will follow her.
Okay, now far away looms the hazy outline of the Eagle Summit, flanked by the lesser ranks that represent Star and Life. To the newcomer, they are a long way off, but they will come a lot closer as the light from the spirit of scouting continues to spread. Do you remember when you were the new scouts and the thought of becoming an Eagle seemed a long way off or even an impossible goal to achieve? Look back at the experience you have encountered in your striving to reach this high achievement. These experiences should not be forgotten. You should profit by making sure the adverse ones do not occur again. Experience is a valuable teacher if you will heed its lessons. All the while you were on the trail, we watched you study and we saw you learn by doing. First, you were only a scout. Do you remember when you took your first step upon the trail to become an Eagle? With that first step, you began to grow physically, mentally, and morally. You started living the Scout oath and law. Soon, you had attained the tenderfoot rank. Once inspired by the spirit of scouting, you will not stay a tenderfoot for long. Putting simple achievements behind you, you quickly climb to the rank of second-class scout. Some, like you, were stopping to catch their breath before continuing along the trail. You began to study more, you worked harder, and almost before you knew it, you topped the first summit on the trail to Eagle when you received the first class badge.
I am the first class. I was a tenderfoot and laid my course by the stars of truth and knowledge, and girthed myself with the righteousness of justice and freedom. I added a smile that I may be a friend to all and bound myself together with a knot of duty to others.
There you found a tempting green meadow by a crystal clear stream bathed in the sun. Here you were tempted to remain. Yes, you could have remained there to live the first class glory, but your ambition stirred you on. We remember your advancement to Star Scout.
I am the star. Now that I can stand alone, I have the right to improve on my own. To me goes the honor of choosing my field. Before me lies a horizon of endless opportunities.
trail from first class to star rank was not as difficult as it had seemed. This spurred you on, and again you climbed farther. The trail was steeper and less worn. Fewer scouts seemed to be headed in your direction. You looked down and saw the crowds below you. You looked up and saw a few above you, and with the same determination with which you started your climb, you continued up the trail. Gaining the next summit was not easy. Much leadership, service, and hard work to be done. Soon you earned the badge of life rank.
I am the life. I have shown the whole world that scouting is in my heart. I have mastered the knowledge of subjects that will benefit my country and my fellow man. I am ready to reach for my wings to fly.
While the Life Scout is a much coveted position and deserves much credit, the Eagle Trail does not stop there. It still leads on to the summit. Its pathway narrows and steepens considerably as it winds its way along the narrow edge. It becomes tougher and more trying. Many things have to be done in order to conquer these last miles. Additional merit badges were earned. Your leadership and service to others was tested through your Eagle Service project. Only those with the greatest amount of persistence and courage are able to gain this thrill of victory. You were on your way to Eagle.
I am the eagle. Since the very beginning of time, man has used my brothers and me as a symbol of royalty, power, victory, and valor. My strength and courage have inspired men throughout the ages.
Yes, we have watched your character unfold and become more apparent. We have watched your leadership expand into a valuable asset. We have watched your mind develop and your wisdom increase. We have watched all these things in you, and now that you are on the threshold of your goal, we welcome you, for you have done your climbing in a true scout-like manner.
I now call upon Eagle Scout Mary Gruby to make the Eagle charge.
Will Eagle Scout Aislinn please come forward? Over 40 million members strong, the Boy Scouts of all nations constitute one of the most wholesome and significant movements in the world's history. You have been chosen worthy of the highest rank of the Boy Scouts in America. All who know you celebrate in your achievement. Your position, as you know, is one of the honor and responsibility. You mark. As an Eagle Scout, you have assumed the solemn obligation to your duty of God, to country, to your fellow Scouts, and to community. As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and to your fellow Scouts. Your responsibility goes beyond scouting, to your country and your God. America has much to give you, your child after you, but it depends for the most part on the quality of your citizens. Our country has had an impressive past. Your challenge is to make the future even greater. I charge you to undertake your citizenship with a solemn dedication. Be a leader, be led only toward that which is the best. Lift up even tasks you do. Every office you hold to the highest level of service to God and to your fellow citizens. Live and serve to those who know you. You will be inspired to better living. We have too many who use their power and their talents to do harm, exploit others and for selfish ends. I charge you to be among those who dedicate their skills and abilities to the common good, to build on the soul's foundations of clean living, honest work, unselfish citizenship, and reverence for God. Whatever others may say or do, you will leave behind you a record of which every scout may be proud. I further charge you to enter the Eagle Scout Brotherhood, holding without reserve ever before you the ideals of honor and service. Remember that this entry into the Eagle Scout Brotherhood is not an end to your committees, to these ideals, but just the beginning of your committee.
Now I call our Scouts' parents to the front. present your Eagle Scout with her new neckerchiefs. Parents, please pin the Eagle Ring badge on your helmet. As a symbol of the advice and counsel provided you by your mother as you advanced along the Eagle Trail, I now ask you to pin your Eagle Mother's pin on your wing. You are also asked to present her with a customary Eagle Scout up. As a symbol of the fatherly guidance provided as you advanced along the Eagle Trail, I now ask you to present your Eagle Father's pin as a token to your father. Mom and Dad, you may now be seated. Oh, it's not yet. That second hug. Wait, do it again. Do it again. My phone will be. Ashlyn will now present her mentor pins.
I have a whopping amount of 6 mentor pins to give out because, as my dad told me, it's over there, it costs very little to buy the pin, but the actual act of giving the pin will last for a long time. I'd like to start off my first mentor pin with my first ever Scoutmaster, Miss Julie Thornton. As many of you know, but probably most of you don't, she was the one who started Troop 2019 when girls were first allowed to be in the scouting program. She started it from nothing. Most of us didn't know what we were doing. She mostly did. And obviously that makes her one of my first mentors in scouting because she actually showed me what scouting was. All of your pins. Clearly she has mentored a lot of people.
Get back over there and give her the shaker. Give her a hug.
Wait, no. Okay. 1,
Better on that.
2, 3. Okay. Next, I'd like to thank and give a mentor pin to Doug Thornton. As he's about to cry up here.
I am.
he was the adult that went in with me when I went through my Eagle Board review, which, for those of you who don't know, is a long series of very intense questioning of why you deserve to be an Eagle Scout. He came with me. He also cried. And I've known him for a very long time, both him and his wife, but he was in the room with my father when I was born, so he also has just been connected to me since day one. Always very much a bit of joy.
Clarify, not in the room.
Not
In Iraq. The same room in Iraq.
he was in the same room with my father
Say that.
when he heard that I was born across the country. So he is another one. He was one of my first assistant scoutmasters, and he also has been a very large part of my life, giving laughter, even though I hated him for many years sometimes. It's a longer story though.
No.
One, two, three.
Very good.
Okay.
Did you get that one, Bryn?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Continuing with the same theme, I'd like to give a mentor pin to Sydney Thornton, who was another one of my first assistant scoutmasters. When I was younger, was very nerdy, much like younger Sydney. I was always called younger Sydney, little Sydney, all these things. And this woman is insane and has all kinds of degrees, all kinds of everything, crazy smart. So it taught me to strive to better, because I had to be like Sid to some degree. And well, no one will ever be Sid. She helped me strive for a lot in scouting and in life. And supported all of my nerdy habits when I was younger. Okay. Oh, no hug? Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yay! My next mentor pin I'd like to give to my Grammy. I'm not sure. There's so many choices of people. I'm not sure she can make it over here.
I think so.
Getting out of the chair.
She has always been there for me throughout my entire life. She lives with us currently, so I can see her every day, which is really great. I always got to go home almost every summer to Maine, and that's been a big part of my childhood. And I always got to go and stay at her log cabin. And just the stories, the not taking yourself so seriously sometimes, but still being independent, is something I've really learned from her. And so I'd like to give her my phone. Well, if she cries.
There we go.
You good, Brent?
Yeah.
Two more. One, I'd like to just say a quick few words. This person could not be here because she lives in Florida. But my mom's best
Pause so Bryn can record it.
friend, record
Oh.
this.
Record video.
Okay. I'm have to do it on this. You have to start over.
We need to get Mark. It's okay.
Okay. This woman could not be here because she lives in Florida. My mom's best friend has always been like a second mother to me, and I wanted to give her one at a later date when I could actually see her. I saw her a few days ago actually, but I didn't want to tell her about it until after this was done. She's always been there for me. She's taken me shopping. She's done all these fun things with me, which has really been fun to have, a second mom besides this amazing one I already have.
She's your fun mom.
She is my fun mom, 100%. And she always makes sure to check in on me. She tells me the most random facts I could ever hear. But she's always been there for me, and she's always been a shoulder to cry on, and I really love that about her. So thank you, Julie. I will give this to you later.
Yay.
And last, but certainly not least, I actually will say I saved the best for last. I'd like to give a mentor pin to Mary Groovy. This was my first ever SPL. She was the woman who taught me how scouting was done because she didn't know what she was doing, but she did it very well. This is the George Washington people. George Washington of 2019. She helped me so much through my project. She was there for every question I had, looked over my paperwork countless times, talked with me over countless things, and was like a big sister to me for the past 6 years. And so she is probably my biggest mentor that I've had throughout this entire scouting journey. So I saved best for last. Maybe once.
gotta read.
You good? She's videoing you as you walk away.
Oh, I gotta read again.
Okay.
You want a sec?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Mentors, you may be seated, except for Mary.
Ashley, you can't leave yet. You still
Back
gotta
here.
come
Oh, okay.
Okay. By representation of the Eagle Scout Oath before your parents, family leaders, and fellow Scouts, do you acknowledge your acceptance of this challenge of the Eagle Scout? Though these words are similar to those by which you joined Scouting, today these have a special significance as you pledge your sacred word of honor, your eternal loyalty to this code. At this time, I would like to ask all Eagle Scouts in the audience to come stand closer up, because you're all pretty much standing.
Wow.
So
Okay.
you can do the thing.
I don't have my
Scout.
badge on yet, but
Scout sign. Please repeat after me the Eagle Oath. I state your name, reaffirm my allegiance. To the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of the Eagle Scout. With the help of God, I will do my best to make my training an example. My influence and my opportunities strongly count for physical fitness. Sorry. Very good one, yeah. Okay.
Repeat that.
My influence and my opportunities strongly count for physical fitness.
My opportunity to strongly count
For a wholesome character. And for developed citizenship. In scouting in my community. To this I pledge my sacred honor. By the authority vested in me by the National Court of Honor of the Boy Scouts of America, it is my privilege to present you 2319's newest Eagle Scout, Aislinn Williams. Please give her a round of applause.
My phone's about to die.
Yeah, she gets it all. Oh, poor Brit.
At this point, our Eagle Scout has a few minutes.
I promise not to keep this too long because obviously everybody wants to eat. Clearly my sister already wants to. She's come upstairs already. I'd like to first thank everybody for coming. Thank you so much. I know it's a long drive because I live kind of in the middle of nowhere. But but it means a lot to me. I'd like to also take my speech to talk about my Eagle Project because, well, some of you know about it, some of you know about it more than others. And obviously, this whole thing is not very Scout-based. It's based off of Sunflower Sunshine, and there's a reason for that. My Eagle Project is probably the thing I am most proud of that I've ever done in my entire life. I struggled with mental health for a while as a younger child, and I really learned from that, and I had a lot of time that I had to grow from that. So I always kind of knew I wanted to do something with mental health for my project. I just wasn't sure what. Mr. and Mrs. Thornton can attest. I talked about it for years. I was like, I don't know what I want to do, but I want to do something in this avenue. And then finally, when it came time to do my actual project, I learned what that avenue was. My project was called the Brighter Days Initiative. If you come up here, you can see there's an Instagram handle for it if you want to check that out. Basically, what I did was I collected donations and things that were of need at, my mind is blinking. Yes, mental health facilities. And I actually got a lot more support than I expected. Going into it, I was hoping for maybe $100, 100 items, somewhere in that mix. And I ended up getting $300 and probably 250 items. And that was probably the most amazing thing for me because I was able to give back to not the specific place that helped me, but to a place that helped me in general, like the overall institution. And it's great to know that somebody who's really struggling has a better avenue, because I collected things such as anywhere from clothing to feminine products to puzzles, books, anything you could want. Things that you can use to actively better yourself, because my problem I found was that you were just sitting and kind of waiting it out when you were in a mental institution like that, or mental health facility. My bad. And so I wanted to make a more constructive way to help work on yourself while you were there. And it's truly, honestly, was such a healing thing for me to do. That's why, as you see, it's very based around that. It's very based around the Friday Days initiative because it was such an important thing to me. And I'm hoping that it will help somebody else down the line not feel so hopeless and to feel like there is a brighter days ahead. So I just want to share that part because that was such an enormous part of me becoming Eagle. If I got anything from that, it was this experience of giving back and this experience of such community coming together to support something that I didn't think was going to get supported this much. And many of you donated to that, so I'd like to thank you all for that, for making that possible for me. And obviously thank you to everybody who actually made being Eagle possible for me. Being in Scouts was the best 6 years of my life, and it will continue, obviously. It is such a huge part of who I am, and it will continue to be. So thank you for that. And now you guys can eat.
Yay!
Never mind. I lied. My bad.
2 seconds.
Family soda?
Is that all?
I would like to join our Eagle Scout family in thanking all of those who have helped make this celebration a success. I now declare this Eagle Court of Honor closed. At this time, Aislinn and her family invite you all to join us. I'm going to pause if there's anything else you want to add. Not food.
Just, hey,
Thanks.
while I'm setting up food, just have people decide.
Yep. So, thanks everybody. Obviously not a culmination, but the start of lots of great things from this young lady. It means a lot to us that everybody's here, but you're here because you mean so much to Aislinn. So please come on up, sign the wooden plank, fill out a card of affirmations for Aislinn, enjoy some food and cake, and give Aislinn a chance to tell you how much you mean to her, everything that you guys have done for and with her. So that's it. Thank you.
I'm gonna go get meats.
All right, we're getting meats.